So I'm going to take some time to talk to you a little bit about the Residence Life operations and what my Residence Life team does in working with your students on a day-to-day basis. Some of the services that we offered include campus transition and referral resources. Being staff that really live in and are a part of the student community, we often will be there for students about different things that they're going through, issues that they're facing in their day-to-day student lives, and are here to kind of point them in the right direction and get them to the resources they need to be successful in their time here at Penn State Brandywine. We also do residential education. Penn State Residence Life focuses on 4 learning goals for all of our residential students, and those include bystander intervention, conflict resolution, community expectations, and equity and inclusion. These are areas that we feel it's very important as a member of a community to be educated on and to gain those skills so that when our students graduate, they are equipped to be members of a greater community. We also do mediation and conflict resolution services. This includes the roommate agreements that students will fill out together to specify what their expectations are with their roommate in terms of things like noise, guests, although guests aren't allowed this year, but we'll get to that, and a whole slew of other areas that we have kind of identified as conflicts starters in our years of experience. If those issues are violated from the roommate agreement, we can serve as a mediator for the roommates and assist them in navigating that conflict toward a resolution. We also deal with student conduct here in our office. So if students are violating the Code of Citizenship or the Code of Conduct or our terms and conditions of the housing contract, me and my staff will meet with the students that are referred to us through incident reports and discuss their decision making and hear their side of the story about how they got into a situation where they were referred to us. And then we'll work with them to figure out how we can move forward from the situation. And lastly, Residence Life offers safety and security in the residence halls. We have our resident assistants who are doing rounds at night. I'm gonna let Jasmine talk about that in a little bit. But we are here serving on call as professional staff to really be here for when students need us and to handle any crises that come our way after hours. So I'm going to turn it over to our Residence Life Coordinator for Orchard Hall, Jasmine Price.
Hey guys, I am Jasmine Price. I am going to be the Residence Life Coordinator. And I am excited to see you and meet you guys. In addition to myself, there are also going to be 6 RAs. This year we have 4 returners and 2 newbies. So we have a great mix of experience as well as some fresh eyes. So the RAs are going to be here for your safety and security first and foremost. They're going to have those office hours. They're going to do those rounds. They're also going to be here to be like a sounding board and an advocate for you guys. So they're going to have their hands in a bunch of different things. So feel free to reach out to them whenever you need. So in addition, they're also going to be responsible for creating that inclusive living learning experience. And they're also going to be here to assist you with academic, social, and personal growth. So along with the RAs and myself and personal staff, we are going to be hosting events and activities throughout the year. Now, some of them are going to be socially distant, and then we're also going to have a mix of our virtual activities. So this year's theme is going to be Around the World in 100 Days. So that initiative is going to consist of just different programs that's just going to let you meet new people, learn different things about our world, our community, and just get your hands involved in some things as much as possible. And during those events, you'll have the opportunity to collect some passport stamps. And those stamps are going to possibly qualify you for some prizes down the road. So you don't want to miss those events, okay, guys?
Thanks, Jasmine. Elizabeth and I are now going to talk to you a little bit about some of the initiatives that both Housing and Food Services and Residence Life are putting in place in order to stop the spread, hopefully in our halls, and really stay safe, stay well within the Penn State Brandywine community. One of the first things that Penn State kind of committed to doing is providing masks for every student and faculty and staff member on campus. Or that are coming to campus. So that is the first line of defense that Penn State has committed to. The second is really emphasizing social distancing within our day-to-day lives as an educational institution. So within Orchard Hall, that's going to look a couple different ways. As Jasmine mentioned, we're going to be really changing the way that we do community building and social events so that we can really promote social distancing, but still build an inclusive and strong community for our residential students. And then second, I would also talk about guests. As I kind of alluded to earlier, guests will not be permitted this year in Orchard Hall. A guest would be considered anyone that is a family or friend, a Penn State student, a non-Penn State student, anyone that does not have a contract to live in Orchard Hall is not permitted in the building. I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth to talk about lounges, the kitchen, and cleaning.
Yes, so this is going to be really key for us as we are getting ready for you to arrive this fall, and also after you are here is making sure that we are being thorough and clean as we're working through keeping up with all of the touch points throughout the building. So we do have a plan in place for that. Also, as we get through arrival, I'm going to have Colin talk about our cleaning and sanitation plan over in Orchard Hall. And then Neil's going to talk a little bit about what our plan is in our dining facility so that you hear what we are working on.
All right, so this is Colin. I'll talk to you a little bit about Orchard Hall. So you can see there the community building, social events, lounges. So lounges, are going to look a little bit different. We have converted some lounges into student rooms for the fall semester. So we're going to have 2 open knowledge stations that will be open, but they're going to look a little bit different for arrival. We're not going to have those spaces open for arrival, just to practice safe social distancing to start. And then in some capacity, have them open for students as we move forward and have a better understanding of the space and how we can utilize it. The kitchen responsibilities are going to be put a little bit more on the students this semester. So one example is cleaning. Once they're done in that space and they finish cooking and eating whatever it is they wanted to make, it's their responsibility to clean that space behind them and take out the trash. We're also not allowing students to keep their personal belongings, food in the refrigerator, in the community kitchen overnight, because we don't want multiple students with all different types of stuff, hands in and out of the refrigerator and freezer in that space. That's not just a good best practice moving forward right now. So those spaces look a little bit different. I'm finalizing what it will look like in the rest of the building in terms of wiping down the stairwell handles and elevator buttons and the bathrooms. We're going to be cleaning those bathrooms twice a day to some capacity. Specifically, high touch points in the bathrooms we're going to be focused on as a housekeeping staff, and making sure that we are getting in those bathrooms twice a day and cleaning those for our students. And then we'll also be doing other things, door handles, the patio in Orchard Hall has tables as well and chairs, wiping those down, the lobby. All the different spaces that you can think of in Orchard Hall, we will be doing our best to hit those high touch spaces, disinfect and sanitize.
All right, and within the food service operation of the Blue Apple Cafe, we've already added plexiglass around our cashier stations. We're limiting the amount of customers that can come inside the operation. So we have queuing outside of it. We've limited the entrances and exits from the Blue Apple Cafe. And to practice social distancing within the operation, we're putting part of the Stay Well campaign, the floor signs for 6 feet apart. We're also increasing the amount of touch points and the frequency of doing touch points and cleaning the dining area. We're planning on cleaning the dining hall between each meal period at a minimum. And then we are also, I'll get my plug in for mobile ordering at this point, increasing our options for offering students dining options to go. So something that we were actually working on pre-COVID was offering mobile ordering for our students. It's called Penn State Eats, and we'll have that available through the Penn State Go app, where students will be able to order from our grill, deli, coffee shop for the start of the semester through the Penn State Eats platform, and be able to pick up their food as a contactless option.
Thanks, guys. We've been working really hard to prepare for your arrival. You're going to see hand sanitizer practically everywhere you turn, just to make sure that we have put all of the mechanisms in place to keep everyone safe as we practice social distancing and just managing ourselves as we go through preparing for fall, and once you guys move on to campus for fall. So I'm sure that you may have some questions about that, and we're happy to talk to you and answer those questions for you, but we just wanted to share with you what we have in place from a safety perspective as we move forward. And with that, there's also things related to isolation protocols that we have been working on all summer. So Dawn's going to take over and share that with you as Residence Life's taken the lead on that. But this has been an ongoing conversation all summer long as we are planning and preparing for your arrival.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So in the event that someone does test positive for COVID-19, we do have systems in place that we would utilize in order to ensure that that student is safe, that they have a place to live, a roof over their head, but that we're also keeping our campus community safe as well. The ways that we plan on doing this is, number one, we have been able to name a floor in our building to be an isolation area. This is away from any of our healthy student population. It is with access to a private bathroom for the student that is that tests positive. And it allows us to have the student here at home where we can offer them support and services while they go through their isolation period and keep themselves, keep everyone else in the community safe from contracting the virus. If a student is put into an isolation space, we will also provide, working with Elizabeth's team, we will provide meals for the students that are in isolation. We will work with them to find out, if they have any dietary concerns, and make sure that they get 3 meals a day delivered to them at least once a day. Some of them might be cold. At least one of them will definitely be a hot meal, but we will make sure that the student gets what they need from Blue Apple Cafe. I think that the other important piece is there will be support mechanisms in place. Each campus will have a liaison with University Park that will make sure that they are touching base with them at least once a day, finding out if they need anything, in addition to outreach from Res Life staff and other university professionals. There will also be a process of contact tracing. So if a student is found to test positive, they will probably be in contact with our contract tracers. There is one on each campus, in addition to an office managing the contact tracers up at University Park. And they will work to notify anyone that needs to be notified and get the process starting to ensure that we are stopping the spread before anything gets out of hand. Those are just some of the isolation protocols that are being put into place. We really are trying to make every decision that's best for our students to ensure that they stay safe and well. The other thing I would go back and add about masks is that I didn't mention this before, but we are providing the masks, but we also are expecting that the students wear the masks. In Orchard Hall, students will be allowed to take their mask off when they're in their individual room space. And then when they're walking down the hallways or they're in our common spaces, we will ask that they have on that mask at all times. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the campus measures that are put in place next, and that will include wearing masks outside of the building as well.